What's up, guys? We are back with another rewind, if you would believe it or not. Took a year off. Did we take that whole year off? I think we took the. I don't think we did anything that whole year for Modern Warfare 3, did we?
No, we did not.
Anyways, if you guys will be so kind and remember the cast, we got Brentley
Howdy.
over here, and that is him. And we have Dingbat, also known, you will hear Casey as well.
Hello. Hello.
All right. And we think we have something here that we want to do. We want to make the rewind a thing again, first of all, but be more than that. We want it to be able to be somewhere where it can be a community for people. Eventually, we want it to be somewhere where people come to us for news, for questions, for something, anything related to COD, CDL, challenge, all that. So we have some interesting plans. I guess I can get out of that. We got some interesting plans, and I think you guys will be very excited for what we got here. So right now we are planning on talking about champs and everything we experienced. If you guys don't happen to follow me on Twitter or anything, you would have seen it there anyway. We actually, the three of us, went to Call of Duty champs in Arlington this year. Or was it in Arlington?
All I know is I flew to Dallas.
So. Yeah, it was Arlington.
Just outside.
No. It's Allen. It was in Allen.
Yeah,
above
Allen.
Dallas, not Arlington. I'm sorry, Allen. Yeah, it was a decent venue, but the event was stellar, man. I can go on and on about that event. That event was great. Did you guys like that event?
Yeah, it was. It's probably a yearly thing that I want to do now. It was very fun.
Yeah,
it was definitely worth it.
Yeah, I think it should definitely be a thing we do yearly, depending on where it's at. But I think it'd be really fun to get that going.
It was pretty convenient being in Allen. I don't think there's going to be too many coming to Seattle or anything in the area up here.
Yeah, I think Halo's got Seattle kind of locked up. They just had Worlds there. But,
oh, boo.
Yeah, COD. I think the rumor is right now for this coming season for Black Ops 6, the rumor is champs in Chicago. So we'll see. We will see.
Is it the Bean?
I don't know. I don't know where it's going to be. Actually, let's look this up. Venue. See if they got pictures of it. This is kind of a little video, but this is pretty much the scene up here at Champs. Of course, it's Twitter quality, so not much to see here.
That was pretty close to where we were sitting, actually, just to the right of that.
Yeah, we this is Rocket League, but this is the venue they were in. No, this isn't even the venue, is it? What is this? The Copper Box has a Champs venue. Oh, this is just like a theory. Where the hell?
Brent, I don't think that was the same venue.
No, it looked different now that I was looking at it.
It was smaller.
But that was like the same angle that we were at.
Very similar setup, yeah.
I don't know. I can't find pictures on it right now. Anyways, doesn't matter. We went. It was fun. It was a good time. Optic ended up winning champs. So you guys can see right here the scoreline of it. That was the grand finals. Wasn't close, to be honest. They kind of ran their shit, but it was also kind of a lucky pull to get New York, only because that's who they matched up the best with, along the top four all year. They kind of ran New York every time. I think they beat FaZe they beat FaZe once or twice maybe this year.
That was interesting because the year before wasn't Optic dominating the FaZe Optic matchup, and then
FaZe couldn't beat Optic
different.
up until this year, so it kind of flipped. But Optic gets the big one, so
Got to see Scrap Draza go at it.
yeah, yeah, that was
Was that a couple times?
yeah, that was crazy, huh? Those were some storylines that we had. We had a Scrap Draza storylines. Well, their girlfriends mainly too. We also had Scrap Clayster storylines this year. There was a bunch of beefs actually. There was a lot of beefs that were just kind of played out. You don't really see it. You don't see that stuff in game. You know, you don't see people solely running around the map hunting for one name tag. You know what I mean? You don't see that. You'll never notice it in game. It's the out of game stuff. It's the Twitter posts. It's all the post stuff.
Thieves made top 3 too, didn't they? Top 4 at least.
Yeah, what did Thieves come at champs? Did they come fourth?
Made a run.
I think
Made a run.
Pretty sure Thieves came fourth at champs, but they came in second. They made grand finals at the World Cup.
Yeah.
I'll leave it on this for right now, so you guys can kind of see. I don't know if I can get rid of this ad. I'm scared to click it. We'll just scroll down. But these are the teams, and we're gonna rearrange them in order from what we think. Eventually, I want to talk about a little bit of do we like the EWC? Do we like the World Cup being a part of the Call of Duty season? And do we like it being after the Champs tournament? What do you guys think?
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if it's a yearly thing. I liked it after Champs because it gave us more to watch afterwards, but they could almost do it like you know how soccer or football does a World Cup every 4 years, or like the Olympics. I think they should alternate it like every 2 years. I don't think it should be a yearly thing if Champs is going to be the sole event every year. But it was definitely fun to watch.
What do you think, Case?
I don't think it should be a part. I think it should be totally different, separated from the Call of Duty League, and just kind of another out-of-season tournament that the players can make money on. Organizations can build a brand. I think it should be still important, but I think the regular season and COD Champ should be primary.
I think I like the EWC. I like the World Cup being around. I think that should stay around. I think it should be a yearly thing, but I would like to see it mixed in between a major. Preferably middle of the year, and that is only because after Champs, nobody's grinding the game anymore after Champs. No one's gonna take the World Cup seriously until they put it before Champs, if they're gonna do it. No one's playing the game they just played 8 months straight, 12 hours a day, every day on after Champs. They're just not doing it. So if they want it to be competitive, like really competitive, because otherwise you're gonna have FaZe, Optic, or whoever the third, fourth best team is, they're just going to win it every time. It's not going to be competitive. It's not going to be a World Cup. It's going to be another CDL. It's just a second CDL. Like, you're trying to make it a World Cup, in my opinion, I think there should be region-based teams, but that's just me. They're not going to do that. There's just not enough competitive Call of Duty out there in the world yet. We'll see, though.
They're expanding, though.
Yeah, because we'll see. Like we see here, Vegas Falcons, they competed at the World Cup this year. They did better than people expected to. I don't think they won a series, but they were shooting. They're shooters. They just don't have the fundamentals of COD. I mean, you got to think, right? EU players and Saudi players or Australian players, they don't get, French players, they don't get the same practice NA players do. The best in the world is in North America, and EU players are not practicing North America players strictly based off ping. It's just not worth it. So people overseas are at a disadvantage no matter what. Yeah, that's why you see people like Hydra. It's like, yeah, the dude is God now, but his rookie season in Cold War, he was probably their third best player on the team. I mean, it takes time to learn Call of Duty and how to play it the right way. It takes time, and they'll get it. They'll get it. I just hope. I hope they move EWC into the middle of the year instead of the end of the year. That's my take on it. Let's see here. We can kind of talk about the rosters now. I think kind of got champs out of the way. We didn't really talk about too much. Didn't talk too much. I mean, about the winners or anything, but it's so played out now. Everybody already knows. We've already heard everything about all that. So I feel like we don't really need to go over any of that. Optic won Phase 1 World Cup. I don't know if we said that. Phase did end up winning the World Cup. Thieves played them in the Grand Finals. The Thieves actually made a great late season push from champs all the way to the World Cup. They did really well.
Just to have their team blown up.
Yeah, we kind of knew it was going to happen, though. This is a budget year for the Thieves. That they did way better than they were supposed to, so props to them. And props to those players, because every single one of those players is rumored to be, quote-unquote, rumored / locked into another team this year in the CDL, so that's awesome. Usually you'll see players like that on teams like that are in that situation. You usually see those kind of players if you're not, the Dan Ghosty of the team or whatever. You usually see them playing in Challengers next year, but it's cool that the three of them are getting opportunities. I like that. Anyway, we can talk about roster moves and kind of go through this tier list now. I think it'd probably be a pretty good time. And then after that, I think we're going to get into some predictions for the Black Ops 6 season and kind of talk about the game and how we think it's going to play. I played a lot of the beta. I know both of you guys played the beta too. So we can kind of give our thoughts about that. Let's go through the teams real quick though. This is obvious. This is in no order right now. This is all mixed up right now, but these are the teams and the players on the teams. Right now, the only question mark that I don't know, for sure don't know, is Hook on Rocker, because I had just seen today that he is playing on a Challengers team and was named in the for that. So that is the only one that I don't. Well, and Heretics. Heretics. Heretics is more of a situation we don't know who is going to be their starting four, because they have 5 players signed right now, and this is exactly what they did last year too. So kind of expect the same thing as last year. They'll run with the same thing they had last year going into this year. Yeah, is what I think they'll do. And based off of results, based off of practice and what they see, they'll make changes off of that. And the 5th signee is Rencor. He's not up here. To be fair, I'm not too sure what he looks like still. He's pretty new to me. EU player, but Rencor is the 5th player for the Heretics. Alright, so I think to do this, we'll just go from top to bottom since they're all mixed up right now. And we can kind of just, you guys want to go off of what we think they're going to do in this next year?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we should make a tier list on how good they're going to be in Black Ops 6. Not like how good of a player they were last year. If that makes sense.
Okay, so actually, yeah, no, I feel like this is fine. We'll just start. Atlanta FaZe. We have Celium, Abizi, Simp, and Draza. They made no changes and stayed the same from their Modern Warfare 3 season. Where do you guys place Atlanta FaZe for this coming Black Ops 6 CDL season? Start with Brent.
I'd probably put them either 2 or 3. One or the other. We can go about it once we get to the other. I think there's 3 teams that are standout teams this year.
Yeah, let's leave them towards the top. I think it is important to note that if this team didn't win Worlds. They might have broke up.
They, yeah, I think that's a good point. Keep going.
I think Draza would
Yeah,
be gone. I think the big three would still be there.
there was talk that the big three were splitting up too, because they kind of got dumpster rolled in champs, right? They were out pretty early, so.
Yeah,
And I think they won one major, maybe.
Yep.
Second major,
They won
right?
the second major, right? Yeah.
Right. So they
Go
were
ahead.
down and out for a little while after that second major. 3, 4, and then champs. So
They
I
had
think
they had a
Worlds is
solid
huge.
year. They had a solid year, but yeah, no, you're right. They won a major early on in the game before the rest of the league kind of caught up. Same with
Just like Toronto.
Same thing that Toronto did. They learned the game early. They were shooters, and they were just talent diffing people at the time. That's how the year goes early on. That's just how it goes. The more talented players will perform better just because it's a new game. People are still learning spawns. We're learning rotations. We're learning cuts. We're learning all this shit still. So the guys that have the best gunny are just going to outperform the guys that have the lesser gunny right now early. But
yeah, and I think the teams that stick together too also have the edge too. So right now I'd be looking at FaZe and Optic to really dominate the early stages of BO6.
yeah, actually, yeah, we kind of can phase into Optic too, because I'm sure everybody knows we're going to put them pretty high up there in the tier list. Coming off a champs win, but FaZe did win World Cup. Like I said, I don't give too much merit to that. It is a big tournament, obviously the biggest tournament in terms of prize money on the whole year. But like I said, it's just people aren't grinding the game anymore. You're not getting the 12-hour scrims every day. It's just people aren't doing that. So they did win it though. Good for them. And Casey is right. Beezy and Celium were both rumored to leave if the World Cup did not go well. So it could have been a very different scene for FaZe. We could be looking at a Hydra scrap FaZe with Simp and Draza.
The long neck and draws.
Because I know Simp and Draza had some pretty damn big beef going into them teaming, and they kind of put it aside. So I'm sure for the sake of competition, people can do what they need to do for their jobs. But let's move into Optic Texas here, and actually they spell Optic wrong, but that's fine. I'm gonna move them up just kind of naturally here. Get them behind FaZe, and we can talk about it. But Optic's another team that did not change, and I think the only other team that didn't change besides Heretics. Anyway, they didn't change. We still have Shotzi, Pred, Dashy, and Kenny playing for Optic Texas. Coming off of a champs win, kind of a lame World Cup performance, but they themselves said they weren't practicing for it. It's just, FaZe dominated that whole tournament, so we'll give it to FaZe on that one. But they are coming off a champs win, very good season. They won Major 3 as well, so they came out with 2 tournaments on the year, one of them being the big one. Where do you guys put Optic Texas in relation to FaZe mostly, but also the rest of the league? Start with Brent.
Yeah, I would probably have them 3. At the start of the year, I think they're going to be the best team, though. Like you guys touched on, I think they can probably have a good shot at winning Major 1. But overall, at the end of the year, I would probably have them at 3.
Okay, Casey, what do you think?
I think early on, I think FaZe is 1A and Optics 1B, and then we'll get to the other team that could be mixed with them shortly. But I think Kenny's the X factor. If he plays well, they're going to win. If he doesn't, they aren't. Shotzi's a little volatile, but you normally know what you're getting from Pred and Dashy. So I think Kenny's the rock of the team, and he's proven that when he plays well, they do well. So that's something to look forward early. I think Shotzi is going to have so much fun in BO6. So Him and Abizi probably could carry both of the teams, but I would give the edge to FaZe right now just because of the experience of the big three.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm there with you. I think for me, I like Optic above FaZe here, and I like Thieves at third, and I'll explain why. The Thieves, we'll kind of just move them up actually right now.
That's obviously the team that we were talking about.
The thing about the Thieves, yes, I mean, obviously, look at the damn team. Come on. I mean, obviously, come on. But all four of those players are new to each other besides Envoy and Scrap. They're all new
They
to
only
each
have
other.
a year.
Yeah, and they only have a year. You're right. Second of all, Scrap and Ghosty had beef before this year. There was beef going into this. Scrap says it's settled. Ghosty says it's settled, but you also never know when the heat of the moment comes up. Hydra, I mean, he'll be Hydra, but I think how he plays will affect how Envoy plays a lot. This could be a really slow year for Envoy, or it could be one of Envoy's best years because he might, the way Black Ops 6 works, he might have to play aggressive with Hydra. It all kind of depends. We don't know how the game plays, so we can't really see. But I have them at third, strictly based off of team chemistry.
I think at the end of the year, as long as they stick together and don't argue, they should easily win the whole thing with how good these guys are. They just need to find their roles within the team. I think that'll be the tough start at the year, but throughout the year they should get better.
Yeah.
I think Ghosty comes into his Optic form. He plays that kind of just
I think he's
flex,
gonna have to,
slower. Yeah, I think he has to, and kind of be the. I know he's always the in-game leader no matter what, but dive into that more just because of how much slaying power he has with him now.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna have to go back to the main AR. I know they kind of had him running a fast. He was still main AR last year with Nasty and all that, but he was more of a fast. He was probably one of the faster ARs in the league. Just strictly pacing wise. Otherwise, he is holding irons and shit like a main AR does, but he does move. He gets into power positions. He's a great main AR, but he's gonna have to. My prediction for this game, we're kind of going to talk about it a little later, but just for the sake of the tier list and team composition, I think this game will be a 3-sub game, and Scrap has obviously proven he can run the sub already. Ghosty's really going to have to lock down and be that main AR for this team. I think a lot falls on his shoulders with this team because he will be the scapegoat in almost any situation people can find. If this team doesn't perform, it will be Ghosty and Envoy that are the ones being scapegoated no matter how they're playing. And that's just how it's going to be. They know that, and they knew that coming into this team, obviously. You grab Scrap and Hydra, you do know that you will be playing, I don't want to say in their shadow, but kind of second fiddle. You know what I mean? Kind of a support player to them. So we'll see how it turns out. Like we've kind of all been saying, I don't think there's really a reason to order the top three right now. I think it's just so up in the air. They all I guess you can give FaZe 1 over Optic right now because of how badly they handled them in the whole season series last year. I don't mind that, so if we want to leave it like this, that's fine. If you guys have objections to Thieves, if you want them higher or lower, but I doubt you do.
We can switch it at the end because there's going to be a lot of groups within this tier list that I feel like can be interchangeable. So once we get the different levels of teams up there, we can always change it if we need to.
Okay. Fourth best team. It's just so objective right now. Let's just go down the list.
I was going to say, I think we can put 3 teams in the 4, 5, and 6 role. I think we can put Toronto, one of those teams there. and I think Gentlemates and Cloud9, I think can be considered for those spots. You guys may disagree though.
Yeah, I mean, I actually, I mean, I agree with Toronto and Cloud9. Gentlemates, I'm not sold on.
Yeah, I'm looking at that team right now, and it's just like they tried to plug in Lins for Hydra.
They got a different French sub to play for Hydra.
Yeah.
They have a lot of experience though, based off.
They do have chemistry. These guys have won a lot of money together. They won a lot of games together. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we'll move them up there. They're definitely not the worst in the league.
Yeah, I think I might have a front runner for worst in the league.
I think the worst in the league is probably the team there right now.
Oh, really? Oh, I don't know much about those guys. I was talking about more of the Big R, the rocker.
Yeah, the rocker doesn't look too solid.
Paul X is back in the league, huh?
I don't even mind that. He just has so many.
I kind of mind it.
He's a fucking nasty player, but he has so many out of game problems. It's just why he can't get on a roster. He's fighting with people, or he's missing practice for his girlfriend. It's rough scenes for Paul. I'm surprised he did get a spot back, but he is. I mean, I think he's better than 50% of the players in the league right now.
I think the bottom three are really good right now.
Wait, who would you say that the bottom three are?
Rocker, Surge, and Falcons.
I heavily disagree. I think Surge is above Gentlemates. I put them after Cloud9.
Well, move Rocker down. Get Rocker down there. Yeah.
Well, I think Surge. They're gonna need a big sophomore season out of Abuza and 04.
The thing about Surge, like what they have, is it's literally a perfectly built lineup. Like it's what you want in players. Obviously, it's like
do people want Hixie?
Oh yeah, I think Hixie had about 4. I think he picked Surge over other offers. He had like 4 offers this year.
Really?
Hixie was the best player in Challengers last year.
Interesting. I was unfamiliar with his game except for when he tried to
him and Paul X
on the team a couple years ago.
Him and Paul X were, I know Hixie was top 3, if not top 2. I don't remember, but Paul X was up there too. Cammy was up there as well.
Both a year off of the league, right? And coming back.
Yeah. Yeah, Hixie didn't make it to the league at all in Modern Warfare 3, but he played. He came in late for Modern Warfare 2 as well.
So they might be stunned at the talent difference right away, but
I don't even think it was. I think Hixie has always had the talent, but it's just. There's only keywords are such a big thing in COD, but he's a role player on that Toronto team. He really was. Like you're playing behind Kleenex, you're gonna be a role player. He's just probably the fastest sub in the league. Honestly, his pace is just I don't know how people can keep up with it, but
okay.
I love Hixie. I like this Seattle team. I really do. Don't hate this team. I don't hate this duo.
Well, so who would you put bottom 3 then, Mark? Who are your bottom 3 teams? Let's get that figured out. And then we can work on the middle.
These are my bottom 3, for sure.
I like that.
Yeah, the breach. I love Purge. Love him.
No,
Great compliment to Snoopy there.
I don't think there's any argument people can make that Purge shouldn't be in the league. He's proven time and time again he knows how to play Call of Duty right. Talent-wise, he has some catching up to do. Like Gunny, not even talent-wise, Gunny. Just Gunny. He's smarter than almost anybody in the league. He knows how to play COD. It's just Gunny. But if he's put on a position where he's behind Snoopy, he doesn't have to be the Slayer. You never know. We'll see. I like Purge as well. I think he very well deserves a spot in the league.
Purge is better than Hixie. I
don't think that's true. We'll see. We'll see this year. But my early prediction is that's
staring.
very far off.
I'm staring at this Royal Ravens team, and I'm just thinking, how the hell is Slasher going to keep this team composed and not just sprinting at him all the time?
Fucking TJ's gonna be eating cookies mid practice. Gwen's fucking smoking a blunt. Nero's, I don't even know. Nero just looks creepy to me.
It's 5-4. No, he's.
I see a lot of 1v1s in that team. You're right, Casey. If they win their ones, they'll be decent. Or they might be the worst team in the league. So
Well, okay. I have a question actually about this team. So you have 3 true subs here. You know what I mean? Like these are 3 true subs. TJ can run the flex with the AR. He's pretty good with an AR. But mainly these are 3 true subs, especially based off last year. Nero is a very fast player. He will, he's fucking headbutting in your face all the time. Gwen's more of a sneaky slayer. He's more of a pred to, Shotzi. But I think this team could work really well if they can make it work really well. If that makes sense. It sounds stupid, but they have to play the game right, but they also have to find their roles early. Like they have to find their roles they are comfortable with. I think they would put Tej on the second AR if they're gonna run one. I think everyone's kind of waiting to see how this game plays because I see a lot of these teams I could see 3 SMGs out of. You know what I mean?
yeah, you're right.
So
It could fit them almost perfect with the game, like you said. If they're running 3 SMGs, they have that. But
yep. So
they have to be patient.
Right now, if it were me personally right now, I would probably do this. And I think I'm good with that tier list right there, honestly. But let me know what you guys think.
I just don't like the Heretics team.
I would actually love doing that.
Down. Yeah, I like that. And
I glossed over Toronto a little bit.
Yeah, we need to go back to them. What were you saying though, Brent?
I don't know. I don't think they're going to do anything this game. That's all I was going to add.
Don't think so.
No, I don't.
I don't think they have any business being put below Minnesota or Boston, though.
No,
I think Real is a really good player.
And Heretics they're fighting. They're not getting swept in every series. They're fighting. They're fast. They're respawn players. They'll shoot back, but they also play the game very weird, different from everybody else.
Don't think they have the firepower to win a major.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Or then X Factor to win the major. Like Real,
they need to. Well,
keep them in games, but you can also lose them games. So
they need to kind of focus on just winning on LAN. I mean, they started 0-12 on LAN maps this year. That's bad. That's really bad. That's getting swept in 4 straight series in 2 different majors. It's not good, but they were very good online comparatively, so we'll see. I like them below Surge. I like this line here. I think Gentlemates and Carolina can be interchangeable, and we do need to talk about Toronto. But what do you guys think about this order so far in general, just based off players?
Are we going for end of the year? This is the final stand, point wise.
Yeah.
Or are we just talking about talent level going in?
I feel I don't know. I feel like the only fair prediction would be talent level going in because team changes, can happen. And some of these teams, I'm expecting team changes to happen. So I feel like we can rate them going in.
I have a fun question.
So,
who do you think this year's God RX is?
Okay. That's kind of out of but it's someone on the
Falcons. Pick anyone from the Heretics.
It's someone on the Falcons. It's gonna be.
Okay. Keep an eye on the Falcons.
I like this lineup, but yeah, let's talk about Toronto real quick. They kept the the EU duo together, Insight and Kleenex, both took a pay cut to stay on Toronto. And they actually, in my opinion, probably had I'd probably give them the second best offseason. Looking through these teams, I'd probably give them the second best. I mean, they went out and picked up Beans and Joe DeCeves when they lost Envoy and Scrap. I mean, that about two of the best replacements that are available you could grab.
The only question I feel like is with Beans. I think this team could be like LA Thieves last year. They start out a little rocky, not really sure what they're doing, and then they pick it up about mid-year, and they might even replace. Joe might go off the team. Beans might drop, but I think those two in the middle are the guys that'll really hold down this team.
I think Kleenex will be given as much freedom as he wants on the map. I think he's going to be flying at people.
Yeah.
And how dare you say Joe's getting dropped from his team, man?
Hey, you got dropped on last
He's
year's
the captain
Thieves
of
team.
my fantasy team last year.
He
Same with
got
my boy
dropped
Purge. Go Purge.
on Thieves, though. If he got dropped on Thieves last year, he could very well get dropped off Ultra. And not the whole year, but they could try to find something.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I think we just kind of have to see how the year goes. Obviously, with these teams, teams like Toronto, teams like Cloud9, teams like Gentle Maids, Carolina, the fringe teams. I think the top three are going to stick it out the whole year. I think the Thieves, no matter what, stick it out the whole year. I think Optic and FaZe are in danger if they don't perform.
I think if we're going talent going into the season, I think Thieves are number one then.
I do too.
Yeah, talent-wise, I would probably put them up there too. I mean, if we want to do that, we can.
I mean, honestly, outside of the top three, do we think any other team wins a major this year?
Boston Breach.
I mean, just looking at the rosters, I feel like those three teams are going to win every single major this year.
Probably. I mean, there wasn't a tournament that was won outside of the top four last year, so it's very possible. It's pretty much just the top four, but condensed into three teams now. So.
It really is.
I don't really like the Cloud9 team. I don't really like that.
Yeah.
Never been a huge fan of Mac coming back after a year off. Not off, but out of the league.
Yeah.
Sib kind of being a little rebel.
I hold Mac to a much higher standard than Crimp. I personally don't like the Crimp pickup. I would have much rather them grab Nero. But they went with Kyle. See how he does. Just never been a huge Crimp fan, personally.
Yeah, that's only a 2-sub team too. Like Attach. Well, Attach used to play sub, didn't he?
Yeah, I think they'd have Sib run the sub though.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I
like that list though.
But are you moving Cloud9 below any teams below them though? You know what I mean?
Boston.
Okay. Can we mute Casey's mic for
Yeah,
Boston?
might have to.
I'm looking forward to the first Cloud9 Gentlemates matchup.
Yeah, I think that'll be fucking cinema.
I
Well,
think that'll be a lot of fun.
the rumors too, coaching wise, I know not too many people care about it, but D-Real is rumored to now be the coach of the Gentlemates, back with the Core 3. If people don't know, D-Real was the coach of Cloud9 through Vanguard all the way through this last year. He watched the breakup happen and then watched this big breakup happen. So he is rumored to be back to Gentlemates with his Core 3, and we'll see what he can do. With Linz as well, because I know D-Real is French. It's him and Hydra got along very well. That could play a factor chemistry-wise. This team has to like they have to play the game right. You know what I mean? They're not talent diffing teams, but they definitely can their fundamentals can just be so much better that they would win games. I could definitely see that.
They could rob a few teams. But you're saying Skies isn't the best gunny in the game, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I actually
Okay.
think Skies gets a bad rap, but yeah, I think Skies is incredibly talented. Just doesn't play the Slayer role on any of the teams he's on.
Yeah, he's like my boy Purge.
Yeah, I think Skies is quite a few levels slaying wise above Purge, but we'll see. Skies is also getting into his later years. I think he's been playing. Yeah, when did he start playing? He was. He Black Ops 3? He might have been Advanced Warfare or Infinite Warfare, but he's been around a while. So it's cool to see him still doing his thing. That's the teams. I think we're gonna leave the list like that. This list again is going off of kind of like talent going into the year, talent slash team comp, like team composition or whatever. We'll see how it goes. This is obviously very, very subject to change, but right now this is what we got. So from here, I was kind of just going over and planning on talking about what we want to do for this upcoming season as a channel, and kind of talk about Black Ops 6 itself. See what we think of the game or how we think the game will play in pro level, stuff like that. I'll start off with plans for this coming season. We want to have a set schedule. We want to have a hard schedule that we will share with you guys probably after this upload, like a community post or Twitter post or whatever. We'll figure something out, or we just plug it in the next like 3 uploads we do, whatever works. But we will have a schedule going out that you guys will be able to see, and we're gonna stick to it this year. We're gonna do the whole year and see how it goes. We love competitive Call of Duty. We're obviously not too personally invested into it, but just as fans and as, you know, quote unquote creators or whatever, we love it. And we love Call of Duty, so we love doing it. We want to do it. Last year got complicated. Life stuff happens. It's fine. This year we're planning on making a comeback, so make sure you stick around for more rewind episodes. We're going to be doing gameplays. We're going to be doing clips. We're going to be doing all this stuff. We're going to be doing streaming too. That kind of goes into my next little bullet point for upcoming season plans and stuff like that, is we are going to do... we're going to be streaming, and it's going to be off my personal channel on Twitch, which you guys know on this channel. It's plugged in the bio and all that. And then Brentley will also be streaming as well. So
Yes.
we will plug that, and he'll get that in all his bios and all that, and get that going. But like I said, we will have a schedule for you guys to see when streams will be. We'll have a schedule to see when uploads will be, and just kind of giving you guys the back ends of it here. It's just not waiting. It's like, oh, I guess they're done doing it, or stuff like that. You know, kind of keep the questions out of the air. Do you guys have anything to add to that?
Call us Mac and Hixie because we took a year off and we're back, baby.
Yeah, damn right. The goddamn return is what I like to call it. One last thing I do want to touch on, stream-wise, we are going to be watch partying the Call of Duty League matches. We're going to be trying to do every online qualifier, but you know what I mean? It's every weekend. I got life stuff, so I'm not available every single weekend. But
one way or the other, we'll cover it. We'll cover it though.
Yeah, we will have a stream of it no matter what. So just that'll be on the schedule as well. I'm paraphrasing right now just so you guys are informed. Like I said, we don't have a physical schedule to give you guys right now. We do have one written up, but we still need to work on a little bit. So we'll get that out to you guys probably after this one gets uploaded. I think you guys will probably be seeing this one around Wednesday this week. So stay tuned for that. Be excited for that. You'll have a new place to watch Call of Duty. You have some new faces to watch it with. Here's some new takes. Get some different perspectives. I think that'll be good. And I know, like I said, and beat like a dead horse, we fucking love this shit. We love COD, so we love doing it. We want to do it. We're here for you guys, and hoping you guys enjoy it enough to be here for us as well. So,
and put the tier list in the chat. Put the tier list in the chat if they have a different one.
Yep. And if you guys got different ideas, that's a great point. If you got different ideas or you disagree with the teams or the list we have, and kind of scroll through it again here, guys.
And we'll argue with you if you're wrong. So.
Like that.
And I'm a top 250 player, so all of my arguments are valid.
Right, yeah.
50,
yeah. Anyways, yeah, drop your quote unquote tier list. Just drop who you guys think, or if I don't know, you don't even need to drop obviously the whole tier list. Just your disagreements if you have any. Just let us know what you guys think. I want this year to be very community engaging. So if you guys have questions, we will be responding. We're gonna be interacting. Like, just don't be afraid to try to interact with us because we will interact back. We love it. So yeah, you guys have anything else for this season coming up that you wanted to add at all?
They wait for it to start.
Casey?
Not too much. No. I feel like Mac and Hixie. That's a good case.
Yeah, it was a good analogy.
Thank you.
I don't know. Kind of going off my bullet points here. I wrote up for us.
Drop from the teams.
I've got predictions for coming season, but we kind of talked about that already with the tier list. We spent a little bit of time on that tier list. I do kind of want to get your guys' takes on what you guys think of the game. I don't know how much you guys have seen all the maps that have been released and all that. So let me know what you guys think of the game. I'll start with Casey this time.
I'm scared to play it myself. I'm not the fastest player. I know there's movement keys and things they're gonna have to pick up on that are different from. It's like a game that is supposed to have jetpacks that doesn't. It feels like so.
Yeah,
it should be interesting to watch.
Am I wrong in thinking that like it kind of almost feels like a Black Ops 4-esque movement system where it's like it's almost exo movement but not quite?
Yeah.
It is like you're obviously in this game. It's a lot different area. It's not futuristic or anything. This Black Ops 6 game, but the movement it's a different engine. You can obviously feel it. It's just a whole new way to play Call of Duty. So I'm excited to see what happens. Brent, what do you got for this coming season?
I just think at the start, everyone's going to try to be too cute with the movement. So if you're trying to go up SR, I would definitely grind at the start and get people while they're diving when they don't mean to dive. If you have a good gunny, I feel like you can go far at the start, but then later you're going to have to learn the movement. That's all.
Yeah. I think it was released that ranked play will be dropping in season 1 this year for the actual game, which is awesome for everybody else to get involved with competitive play a lot earlier than what they normally do, which is so dumb. I don't know why they do ranked play so late. It's so played out at that point. Competitive's already started. And we'll see, but I do like they're doing it earlier. I hope they do well. I'm gonna give my thoughts on the game. Gunplay, I love. Movement, I love. I think they're great for COD. And what's it called? I think it's very innovative what they did this year. So I'm very excited to see what happens. Map-wise, I think maps are probably some of the worst we've seen in a long time. So we'll see what happens. If you guys have seen them, they're tiny and they're quote unquote 3 lanes, but you guys
fully
can
functional.
You guys can make your own decisions about maps. I think there might be maybe four respawn maps that are viable for competitive. I think 3, but maybe 4. Search and Destroy can be played on a lot of different maps. Every map in this game is no bigger than Rewind. No pun intended. But the map Rewind in this new game is one of I think it's either the second or the biggest map in the game. We played that map in beta. Not a huge map, but it is a lot bigger than everything else they have. So,
Not a fan of that one either.
Yeah, I think Rewind will probably be played in Search if I had to guess. But we'll see. The maps just aren't. There's not a lot of good selections yet. I'm really hoping the mid-season drops are really good, like they were last year. But yeah, that's kind of what I got for this coming game. I guess my other prediction would be I see this game being a 3-sub meta game, if not the whole year, just especially the early year. I think the teams with 3 good subs or 2 good subs and a good flex, I think those teams will shine. Next bullet point I had was kind of talking about player dramas that have happened throughout last year or throughout the off season, but everyone kind of knows all of it by now. You obviously got the big Scrap Draza one. I don't think we really need to go over that one anymore. Other than that, there really wasn't too much beef. There was the 04 Sib beef, removing the left testicle if they lost from Sib. Other than that, Vickle Pred had some beef.
Vickle Pred and the Pred Kremp. Pred's going after Kremp at the start.
Yeah.
Single digit drop. That was hilarious.
Pred this year has claimed that Kremp is a guaranteed single-digit monster for kills. Kenny last year, at the beginning of last year, said that Kremp will never find his way back into the league. So the Optic guys don't think highly of Mr. Kyle Kremp, which is kind of what we echoed earlier in the episode as well. So we'll see what happens with that guy. But
I didn't even know that, and I was shitting on Kremp.
Yeah. Anyway, other than that, like drama-wise, not too much. New drama though for this next coming season. Sib dropped Kismet and Skies off of that Cloud9 team, and we're pretty sure he got derail removed as well. But Sender also left. Sib is the only player there that was there from last year. Only staff member, actually. They got rid of Fish, their analyst. They got rid of Sender, their assistant coach, and they got rid of Derail, their head coach, plus the rest of their 3 guys. They wiped house. They gave Sib the keys. That is going to be some beef. We'll see what happens.
That's kind of nuts that they just handed, basically. They handed him the team.
Yep.
Really.
Yep. I mean, he's talented. He's talented, but the head on those shoulders it's pretty hot-headed. So it'll be interesting to see what he does with some power over a team. I think Attach, obviously Attach is the vet of this team. He'll be running a lot of the head honcho calls, but I think Sib comes into play with this roster being built and staff moves otherwise. Beef-wise, that's about it. That's about all we got this year. Besides the whole league kind of dogging on Snoopy. It's kind of played out at this point. I don't think any of Boston's woes have really been solely Snoopy's fault, personally. He's obviously played a part, but he's part of a 4-man team that is just absolutely atrocious. So they're all playing shitty. I don't mind Snoopy. He's got some work to do, but I don't mind him. That's all we got for you guys this week. Like I said, stay tuned for next week and weeks going on from there. Obviously, the season doesn't start for a few weeks, or probably not a month or so, but we will have Search and Destroy kickoff tournaments. We'll have a bunch of different Search and Destroy chows. We'll have content to cover before the year, the CDL year actually starts, we'll have content for you guys. Make sure you stick around for all that. I think it'll be a fun year, and join us in our ranked play adventures going into the year, because we do like to get in some ranked play. Yeah, other than that, that's all I got for you guys. You guys have anything to close out with?
About it. Just plug the stream, watch the stream, come join the chat.
It'll be a fun year.
Yep, it will be a fun year. Streams. Make sure you guys are able to pop through into the streams when you have the chance. Like I said, we'll be playing some Call of Duty mostly, but we'll see what we got. Right now, we're thinking of doing one day variety day, so we'll see. Stay tuned, obviously. Then you guys will see as well. But that's all for us right now. We'll probably have another one uploaded next Wednesday. We're gonna try to keep the uploads on Wednesdays, I think. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. Otherwise, Marky VG on Twitch, and what's the Twitch, Brentley?
Brentley222 for Twitch.
Brentley222 on Twitch as well. If you guys want to drop a follow, don't miss a stream, I get those noties. That would be great. If not, you just want to pop through one time. Maybe you watch an episode and you're like, oh, I forgot about the stream. Pop through. We'll see what's going on. We'll be live a lot more. And obviously, we have been. Like I said, almost all of last year was taken off. So I'm excited. I think you guys are excited, and I want everybody that's watching this to be excited as well. So be ready for some good content and a long, good year here. That's all I got for you guys, and until next time, I'll see you later.